Now I'll do it on mine. Yo, 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 yo. Let's go. Let's go. You already know how it go. It's the Great Debate Show with your hosts, Jarvis Jeffries, Terrence Smith, and Nick Ely. We are back in the building better than ever, baby. And we want to recap. We want to recap the five games that we had. Some people would say that they were all a bunch of sleepers. A snooze fest, I would say, aka the NBA Finals. We will talk about that. And we will also talk about, hey, what does this mean? Real quick, I'll ask the guys, Terrence and Nick, what does this mean for Jason Tatum now? Like where does he fit on the Celtics legacy tree? It's a large one, but now that he does have the monkey off his back and he has a chip, we'll see what the guys think about where they will put him. As of now, he didn't get the MVP, and I would like to know if you guys think that matters or not, or will we ride him like we rode Steph until he bullied the Celtics a few years ago? And also, rest in peace. Well, Terrence, you say it best. That's exactly what.
That's why I laughed. I was like, damn, I said that.
Yeah. And Terrence will kind of do something that he never really does that much. It's gloat, but he has every right to do so. He made his pick. He picked the Celtics. He thought they would do it, and he didn't think it would take 7 games. I don't even know if he said 6 games, but they did it, and they did it in 5. Me and Nick were wrong. I was dead wrong because what the Celtics did to the Mavs in 5, I actually kind of predicted that the Mavs would do that to the Celtics in 5. And this was so lopsided, it just looked like they were not a good match. If this is real, the Celtics beat them pretty good, and they showed that they were the best team in the league, as they had been all year. I never said they couldn't do it. I just said they probably wouldn't do it. But they've done it now. Shout out to them. Kudos to everybody. And we're also going to, give our condolences and everything to the loved ones and the friends of Willie Mays, one of the great baseball players. Some would say the greatest, one of the greatest of all time. Passed away at 93 years old. And happy Juneteenth, everybody. I know you're going to hear this maybe a little late on the late side of Juneteenth, but yeah, this is our day. For those that can't see us, we're black. It's
Juneteenth. You have figured it out by now.
We're celebrating. I mean, just any of the new listeners that are just listening, they click on it. Yeah. It's us. This is our day, though. And we're going to wrap this up as quick as we can. We'll try to be brief. All right, guys. Tell everybody how y'all doing. It's been a few weeks. How y'all feeling out there?
Hey, man.
Oh, no, pretty good, man.
Yeah, it's a glorious Juneteenth, so I'm cool.
Yes, sir. It is.
Short day at work. Been spending a little more time on my side of things. I know I'm kind of known for doing a lot of traveling around here, but I've been home for a little while, so it's cool.
Dig that. That's what's up. Okay. Ain't nothing like some good home time, family time, peace, whichever one it is, or all of the above. Nothing wrong with it. Especially if you don't like people, or if you just can't be around them for too long, because there's a lot of stupid people out here. It's not like common sense is common sense anymore. People don't have common sense anymore. Like you'd be surprised, man. So anyway, when you deal with a lot of people, we're gonna get this thing started. In case if you've been under a rock, that's the only way you would not know that the Boston Celtics are NBA champions for the 2024 season, the 2023-2024 season. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, they all did it. Drew Holiday, I thought he was very good, and I didn't think they got talked about enough. The things that he did that I didn't think he would do at this stage of his career against Kyrie Irving. But maybe I should be saying that in vice versa. Kyrie Irving at this stage of his career, maybe he can't do the things that he used to could do against good defenders like that. I don't know. We're going to listen to Terrence and Nick and see what they have to say. The Celtics are champions. Terrence, I know you've got something to say about the NBA as a whole in a minute, but first, give us your take on the Celtics, why they won this thing, why you thought that they would win this, as you were right, and and let us have it, man, because we definitely were bad wrong with this. Bad
Man,
wrong.
listen, y'all gotta learn to listen to me. You just gotta learn to listen, man. It's just that simple. I mean, it's not rocket science. Just hey, go with whatever Terrence says. Put your whole FanDuel account in on it, and just roll with it. It's okay. I got you.
Hey, man.
I might not be able to tell you specifics, but I can tell you winners and losers. And the problem is just that right there. Boston had been there before, and that played a part. I think that they just came in. They were the more experienced team in that regard. And I also think that they just play a better brand of basketball so that even if they made mistakes, like they were just such a technical team. Like last year, you talked about the Nuggets being the Spurs. Well, that's actually what Boston reminds me of. They're just a machine. They've got their system and they run their system and then everybody fits into that system very well. Dallas, on the other hand, they needed a very excellent series from Luka and Kyrie. And they had to have an excellent game from Luka and Kyrie every single game. And I just didn't think that was really possible against a team that plays great defense and has a good offense. Because the defense isn't going anywhere. The good offense, and the crazy part is Boston didn't really even have a good offensive game until game 5, like top to bottom.
That's true.
So, I mean, I really think they could have finished them in 4. I really believe Boston went out and just said, hey, we're going to finish this at home. We know these guys can beat us. And they were right. They couldn't beat them just because Boston is just too good of a team top to bottom. And that doesn't mean that they have better players. I think Dallas might actually have better players. But Boston's team is it's built great. And you look at, hey, you got Drew Holiday and what's the point guard? He has become such a lethal option behind the 3-point line. Derek White has become such a better, a strong option behind the 3-point line now, and just making winning plays. You see him on the ground diving for loose balls, like he makes all the winning plays. Derek White is who people think Derek Fisher was.
Hey, he balled out. He definitely did.
I just had to bring Derek Fisher up because I know Nick loves him.
He would not miss them.
I'm not even going. Anyways, I'm not. Derek Fisher's not coming in this conversation. I think the thing about it with this whole series though is just that I think the reason that Jarvis and I both went into this series thinking that Dallas could win it is because we both believe that they may have the best 2 players in this series. The problem is that Boston probably had 3 through 10, or 3 through 8 at least. I think that's what showed more than anything. Obviously, I think Jaylen Brown's effort as a defender on Luka Doncic was amazing. I think the idea that he essentially dedicated himself to being in his hip pocket for 93 feet on the defensive end. And as you heard him say on the mic'd up in Game 5, if he's gonna get the ball, he's gonna get it at the beginning and take it 94. He's not getting it. If you give it up, you're not getting it back. And so I thought that was admirable. I thought, Jason Tatum filled in and played, did what he needed to do as obviously the best player on the team, even though he didn't win the Finals MVP. I didn't have a big issue with him not winning it because he and Jaylen's, offensive stats were pretty comparable. But like I said, what Jaylen did on defense, I think really gave him the edge. All that being said, Drew Holiday to me was definitely the X factor in the series, just his ability to guard on one end, to facilitate, to score. It's kind of the second option because essentially they being Dallas were really crashing to kind of keep the ball out of Jason Tatum's hands and keep him out of advantageous positions. And so it fell to the guys that come behind him. And Drew Holiday definitely filled in very well with that. Derek White, as Terrence mentioned, hit a lot of big threes. Sam Hauser, Peyton Pritchard, Al Horford, all of those guys, man, they showed up night in and night out the whole series. Other than Game 4, obviously, where Dallas came in and kind of blew them off the court there pretty early. And like I said, and I think I agree with Terrence that they may have wanted to, end it at home and kind of that whole thing. Not to mention the first time them being in that elimination position in the finals. That Boston still has kind of been on that steady kind of stair step path since they put this duo together with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Jaylen got his contract last year. Jason's obviously going to get his this offseason. It's going to be interesting to see kind of how things go with that. I think Drew Holiday already signed his deal when they even before they traded for him or when they traded for him. And so that kind of big three, I guess, they have now, so to speak, is going to be taken care of for the foreseeable future. And so now, I guess I would ask Jarvis, does this make any changes to your dynasty conversation when it comes to? I think you previously said that the Nuggets would be that new Spurs dynasty. Do we possibly have a Boston dynasty brewing as well, considering that the oldest of this Drew Holiday, I guess, of the big three, quote unquote, is 32, 33. But Jason Tatum's 26, and Jaylen Brown's 26, 27. I mean, they'll be in line for another one of these contracts before Boston will ever look at moving on from them, I would imagine.
Can I say something? I want to just to piggyback off of what you just said, Nick. I think that, and I agree with everything that you said pretty much. I can see like this being a dynasty as well, but I would also tell you that the Nuggets, it would be like the Spurs type of dynasty. They remind me of the Spurs. They would win every other year. So no, they didn't win this year, but the Nuggets could still, if they add another bench player here or there, because they were just worn out and fatigued against Minnesota because they lost too many bench players. If you can get a Bruce Brown, a Jeff Green, or somebody somewhere in that magnitude back on your team or on your bench, they could very well be right back again and winning a championship. I want to say that, and this is just I wouldn't say a prediction, but this kind of reminds me, even though this is the one team is on the West and the other one's on the East, the Celtics and the Nuggets for the next couple of years here, this could look like the Lakers and Spurs, where one of them won the championship for like a good 3 to 5 year span. The Lakers won in 99, 2000. You had the Spurs win. No, the Spurs won in 99. The Lakers won in 2000.
Yeah, the Lakers won 3 straight, then the Spurs won in 03.
Yeah, but then the Spurs came back again in 03, and the Lakers were there in 04, even though they lost to the Pistons, and then the Spurs were back in 05. It just, you see, so from 99 to 05, 06, 07 for the Spurs, that's what I could see this being. Of course, the Nuggets being the Spurs in my book, and I know Celtics fans won't want to hear this, but the Celtics would kind of be the Lakers, I guess, because they could win more championships than the Nuggets. They've got more talent. And it showed. Again, Holiday and Porzingis. I remember them making that trade last summer. I was on the set of the Below the Rim movie. I was out in Columbia, man. I remember seeing that the next morning in my Airbnb, and I said, nah, it ain't going to mean nothing. Porzingis ain't going to play most of the season if he's not hurt and end up being done for the season. And Holiday just didn't look like the Holiday that I knew of in the past recently in Milwaukee. So I was like, nah, I'll pass. They're still not going to do it. And I was a little biased with that opinion because I said that they reached their ceiling. And now I have to eat crow. But again, before they got up 2-0 and 3-0, Tatum did still look a bit timid to me. It's easier to make shots and knock down buckets and be aggressive and everything when you're up in the series and you know we can beat these guys. As Nick, as you were saying earlier, as you were alluding to earlier, they wouldn't shoot, or no, Terrence. They weren't shooting that well. They weren't doing that good offensively to start the series. It was a slow progression. Then they started to cook. So I'm just saying, like, they still kind of had reached their ceiling, but the Porzingis and the Holiday acquisition was brilliant. That is what got them over the hump. Now, against the Mavericks, I think they would have had a harder time against the Timberwolves. I don't even think they would have beat the Timberwolves, to be honest with you. But against the Mavs, they didn't even need Porzingis for this series. They actually could have won without him. Whoever the hell Sam Hauser is, I have no idea. But the boy to say, here about 3 or 4 threes, take that with you. You know, go home. Just like, damn, who the hell is he? And then there's this Pritchard guy.
They just sucked him in after 3 seconds left in the half and be like, all right, go shoot it. Half court.
And it's almost like some of these no-look throws that Patrick Mahomes does in practice. It's like he actually has that down pat. You know, like it looks like he actually makes 3 out of 5 of those. And he has done it quite a few times. So Yeah, man, the Celtics were just too much, and I can see the Celtics being the Lakers, and I can see the Nuggets being the Spurs from like that 99 to 05 range area. This could happen for the next 3 to 5 years. Now, again, I don't know how long these guys can stay together, but as long as Tatum and Brown are together, and now that they know they can win a chip, it gets a little easier, I think, after that. So yeah, they definitely could be a dynasty, but I think Terrence is going to tell us something here in a minute that would prove otherwise, maybe. We haven't had back-to-back champs in quite some time, and there might not be any more dynasties. We talked about that the last time. But again, kudos to the Celtics. Again, I was dead wrong. Just wanted to say that, guys. Terrence?
Yeah, I mean, I also want to just touch on, well, first of all, there's not going to be any back-to-back champions for a while. It's just there's too much parity. The super team era is good and over with. Thank goodness. I got tired of it. Now, with that being said, the Celtics absolutely can repeat. I just don't think they will. They actually they have the team, and as Nick alluded to, everybody's locked up. They're going to lock Tatum up this offseason with a 5-year, $315 million extension, I think. That's $63 a year if you guys are good at math. I'm not. So they got
a lot of fucking money, man.
It's a lot of doggone money.
Round your face up when you say it's 63 per 300
$63 million in a year.
Yeah.
But now you got to ask the question: how much of that team will they be able to keep together, paying those two guys and be super top heavy? Because I think Derek White's contract is also up. You got one guy making 3, and you got one guy making 60. I think Derek White, with them having already paid Drew, Derek White might be the odd man out. And that's unfortunate.
Let me ask you a question to you. Sorry. Is Jason Tatum the type of player that would go get his bag now that he has a championship? Who cares about keeping his team together? Or is he a teammate?
Well, Boston can pay him the money.
I don't have to do the super max. I want to win more championships, and I want to keep this core together. Which is he?
Well, Boston can pay him the most.
Well, no, I mean, what Jarvis is asking is, would he take a pay cut to keep some guys there? What Jarvis is asking.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I think he is the type of guy. I also think that I think that the union and the players' union will frown upon it because they need him to take that money so that the market can continue to be reset. So the Players Association might frown on it, but I do think that that's a possibility. If they say, hey, instead of making $315 in 5, you can make $300 in 5. Like, what are you really missing, Jason?
Yeah, $295. Yeah, $305. Yeah, 303. Yeah, you're not missing much. He'll live.
And he'll make that right back.
I would love to keep that team together right there. That's a little bit. They're a little too loaded, to be honest with you. I know y'all don't call it a super team, but damn, Holiday has been playing like that all season. And of course, Porzingis has looked like that all season when he's healthy. And the people off the bench and Derek White, I would have never picked the Mavericks. But again, that's me not really tuning in. I just thought that, hey, man, the Celtics are what they are. Good regular season team. But yeah, I don't know what would have happened if they played the Knicks. But when I saw the Pacers in front of them, I'm like, well, damn. Well, they're definitely in the finals again. But the Knicks dealt with injuries and didn't get past the Pacers. Thought that probably would have been a little tougher. Maybe Miami. I mean, maybe the Sixers pull something out of the hat here. Embiid.
And I think that's a big thing is that, next year, just if everybody's healthy, the Knicks should have Julius Randle. Milwaukee will be 10 times better with a healthy Giannis and a healthy Dame Lillard, allegedly. There's talk of Paul George maybe going to Philly or
Dallas.
Or Jimmy Butler maybe going to Philly. Apparently, Philly wants to kind of right the wrong that they had when they let Jimmy Butler walk out the door.
What if they could get both?
Maybe they could. There's a lot of variables there. And just the same way that that Tatum and Brown broke through. I do believe that at some point Embiid, given his health is in order, will also break through.
Yeah.
It's going to be a very important offseason. Very important offseason. But one thing I wanted to bring up, and I don't know how you guys felt about it. A lot of people are on social media complaining about the entertainment value of the finals. They're saying that it was boring. It needs LeBron because it's boring when LeBron isn't there. I don't know how you guys felt about the entertainment value of it, like were you entertained by it, or honestly, truthfully, I think a lot of guys are just salty because everybody picked Dallas to win. That's what I believe.
No, I wouldn't say it's that. I mean, because I'm one that would say it was subpar. Like I wouldn't say it was just terrible, but it's just not so much because I was talking that Dallas didn't win. It wasn't as good of a series as I expected. Boston had won in a tough 6, or obviously if it gone 7. All right, cool. That says to me we probably got something that was a little better. I think even further, it's something to do with the production value and the broadcast. Not as a production value. I'm not talking about we got all the 4K, 1080p, whatever quality you want to do there, but just in terms of the back in the day we had the player introductions and commercials were worth watching and you didn't have all these interviews after the first quarter where you're trying to get players talking every second and third, which as a player I know they hate doing that. Players and coaches hate doing that type of stuff. Obviously knowing now that and now of course in the finals is on ESPN and ABC as opposed to we don't get the TNT inside the NBA. Hopefully there's something that NBC will be able to do that'll be able to kind of get some entertainment stuff back on that end. It's just for the basketball purist, I guess, and for the person that grew up and really saw kind of what a lot of people consider now the heyday of it in the 90s and the 2000s. It just is not the same experience watching the finals or even watching the playoffs really in general. A couple of series were kind of decent, but just in general, it does not have the same kind of just feel like even as early as recent as the mid 2010s, with the Warriors and the Cavs series and all that type of stuff. Like the finals almost felt like life and death for not to be just extreme, but it just felt like, man, I gotta watch the finals. And now it was kind of like, all right, finals on, I'll watch it. But if I miss the first half,
the answer is dynasty. We are so accustomed to basketball having dynasties. There are no dynasties, and there's not going to be any for a minute. But that's 90s we had the Bulls, 2000 with the Lakers. Even like you said, the mid 2010s we had the Warriors. The Heat was somewhere in there too. And even the Cavs, even though the Cavs
on Lakers, Spurs, Heat, Warriors, Cavs, yeah. We kind of transitioned, pretty good through all of them.
Yeah, because basketball is a sport where we see faces and we gravitate so much to players. This finals was very much about team. This is a very football type, because even though football is about players a lot too, but it's all about which team you gravitate to. First of all, the Dallas fan base, they're just not that big. Nobody cares about the Mavericks. Boston has one of the biggest fan bases, but they don't really look like us.
Yeah, nobody likes them.
They're not celebrating today. So I think that's what the problem was. There was no dynasties, and even though the Celtics are one of the bigger fan bases, they don't look like us.
Yeah, and somebody said something to Kyrie when he dived over into the bench into the first row.
Yeah, I saw that.
Mike Breen said that it was something uncomfortable, very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So we know what that word was.
We know exactly what it was.
Yeah. Today's not your holiday.
We might not know what word it was, depending on how creative they got. Because well, we get the gist.
Today's not a fucking holiday, niggers. That's what.
And we are officially TV 14.
14, baby. It's the Great Debate Show. Where else would you hear something as unhinged as ever from other than the mouth of Jarvis Jeffries? Hey, man, that's good stuff, though, T. And I feel what you're saying. And yeah, there haven't been any dynasties really as of late, and no, there may not be. But I still would probably say the Nuggets could win next year. The Celtics could win again the year after that. This could go on, and maybe somebody in between that, I don't know which team that would be, but could also step in there and get one every now and then. Also,
yeah,
I
I would say as
Bucks.
far as dynasties, I don't think we'll have another one really, truthfully, until Wemby becomes the face of the league. And I think the Spurs will be the next dynasty.
Okay. But before we wrap this basketball thing up, it is a good thing for there not to be dynasties, right? Doesn't that mean that it's pretty evenly matched all around as far as the talent or the competitiveness of the league?
It's good. It's good from that standpoint, but I think Terrence may have a point in that it may not be best for the overall growth and profitability of the league, so to speak, just because those dynasties do seem to kind of draw more eyeballs and draw more of but they're probably drawing more of the casual fan. Whereas, a series kind of like this one would still draw more of the hardcore basketball guys. But the casual may kind of, just kind of pass on it.
And listen, guys, the last time this happened, and rest in peace to this guy I'm about to talk about, and this might get us counseled with Lakers fans, but I got to say it. So the last time we were in this situation, I think Kevin McHale was the general manager in Minnesota and sent Kevin Garnett to Boston. And then we had Jerry West, who was the general manager in Memphis, who sent Pau Gasol to the Lakers. And they built those franchises back up. But I ain't gonna talk too bad about Jerry West today. I let him off the hook because he's not here to hear it. But I'm saying that to say they built those big fan bases up, and then we got a little back and forth again between Boston and the Lakers, and it kind of rejuvenated the lack of excitement I think that people were complaining about as far as the finals. So if it gets too bad, look for something like that again. Even though Jerry West ain't here to send Pau Gasol to the Lakers anymore, but we might see something along the lines of the NBA trying to.
Lord, I hope
fan
not.
bases.
I don't need LeBron to get nothing else.
Yeah, that definitely could happen, and I think it's a good thing for the league, though. I mean, I know the statistic numbers and viewerships, merchandise or whatever probably show differently when you talk about ratings. It may be what you guys say it needs to be, but me personally, I always thought people hated dynasties. I know I do. We don't like to admit it, but I think most of us really hate dynasties. And unless team, nobody wants to see the same team win every year. Nobody wanted the Bulls to win, but myself. At that time, I was a Bulls fan, right? Rooting for Jordan every single year. There's a guy that I went to school with. We called named Kelvin Peterson. If he's listening, he knows how we went at it all the damn time. What's up, Grip? He hated the Bulls. He never wanted to see the Bulls win. A lot of people did. I remember everybody in my ear the year of the Game 7 against the Pacers. The Pacers are going to finally beat y'all, and they're going to the finals, and they may beat the Utah Jazz. But you know what I'm saying? Like 98. Nobody wanted to see the Bulls win unless they were Bulls fans or Jordan fans. Same thing with the Lakers. If you're not a Laker fan, no, you don't want to see the Lakers win three-peat. No, you don't want to see the thing to win.
Yeah, I think the flip side is people will pay to see you lose.
Maybe that's what it is that does it for them. Yeah, I'm gonna watch because I want the Warriors to lose. And they got lucky one year, when, of course, this 2016 year when LeBron come back from 3-1 deficit. But other than that, yeah, they will win every time. And yeah, I guess you could watch just to root for them to lose. That probably is it, because I know I watched many of Super Bowls hoping that the Patriots would lose, and they would not for the most part. So yeah, you're absolutely right, T. But for me, I know it wouldn't help the business, but I think it's a good thing that there are different teams winning here, and it's that wide open. That means like a team like, I wouldn't say the Detroit Pistons, but look what the Knicks did in just one season, and they didn't make that many moves. And think about the jump that they can make next year. If they had stayed healthy, I'm not I'm not saying the Celtics wouldn't have still made the finals, but if the Knicks could have stayed healthy, I'm not so sure that they wouldn't have been playing right here these past 2 weeks. I'm just not sure. So it's a good thing for me to say that, damn, anybody could end up in here, What if the Pacers make another acquisition or, sign somebody? Siakam he's going to stay for another 4 years. He's got a pretty big extension he's going to do here coming up. That was breaking news earlier today. So, I mean, what if they put somebody else in that backcourt with Halliburton? Who knows? I mean, it's wide open in my book. So I like where it's going, but you guys are right. They're going to have to say, hey, screw it. I'm trying to think of somebody that's good. Send Ja to the Lakers. I don't know. Whatever it would take to say, hey.
I was actually about to say, watch out for them Grizzlies coming back next year too.
Yeah, we've been talking about that, and we're gonna check the Grizzlies out a little bit next season because I don't know why I did it, but I did it. I'm a season ticket holder for the next season, so we're gonna check out. I'm not going to every game, so yeah, I got y'all if y'all need tickets or whatever. Because I ain't trying to see all this stuff. But if Ja can stay healthy, yeah. And y'all tell me the backcourt got better as these young guys played and developed a little bit. Yeah, I hope so because
watch out for them coming back next year. That'll be my early prediction.
Yeah, no doubt. Okay, all right. Half hour already gone by. Terrence, what else do we have on tap as we get ready to wrap the show up?
Nick had a Facebook debate that he wanted to throw at us.
Yeah. So go and bring me front and center here. This will be good for, I guess, probably for a reel or something along those lines. My boy Travers Milam. I used to work with him over at C Spiral back in the day. Fell under a post that he was on. He got a podcast he does, 94 Feet of Life, I believe is what they're called. So shout out to those guys. But the young man I've got on the picture behind me is Jaylen Brown, your new Finals MVP. And he being Travers, believes that Jaylen Brown, now that he has won this Finals MVP, has surpassed one Jimmy Butler as a player in this league. I would like your thoughts.
I'll say this. No. No. I say that because Jimmy Butler has never had a player like Tatum. Because Tatum is the one. I don't give a damn what Brown does. Tatum is the one. He's one. Jaylen Brown might be 1A, but Tatum is one. And he takes a lot of pressure off Jaylen because Jaylen is never going to get the best defenders, or the defense is never going to shade to him. They're shading to Tatum because Tatum is the guy. Tatum takes a lot of pressure off Jaylen, allowing Jaylen to get his 20 points a game. Whoop-de-doo. I like Jaylen Brown. I like his style of play. He's aggressive. He attacks. I wish more people were aggressive and more people attacked. However, he is allowed to just play freely because Jason Tatum takes the team's best defense every night. I'm saying that to say, when we saw Jimmy Butler in the finals, especially in the bubble, Jimmy Butler, let's be honest, was the best player on the court. Not just on his team, but he was the best player on the court.
Hey, I got news for you. You don't have to go back that far. He just put the Celtics out in the playoffs last year.
And he ain't got a Jason Tatum. So
he's got Bam Adebayo.
The answer to that, barely had him that year in the bubble.
Who is closer to Jaylen Brown than he is to Jason Tatum.
Yeah. So the answer to that is no.
And I just want to, I'm gonna give my answer real quick. This will be the quickest answer ever on the Great Debate Show from me. Everything that Terrence just said.
So Travis, if you're watching, this is probably gonna end up on Facebook or whatever. So this is for you. Comment back, say what you want to say. We got two others here. I just teed it up. They told you. Jaylen Brown's a great player. He's a very good player. I'm happy for him. I'm not hating on him. I'm happy that he got his Finals MVP. He played a hell of a series. He, like I said, guarding somebody like Luka Doncic, who is arguably the best player in basketball right now, and taking him 94 feet up, and he didn't take him out of the game, certainly, because you can't take Luka Doncic out of the game. But for as much of a negative effect as you can have on a guy like that, Jaylen did that. Hats off to him.
Did they sweep Boston? Did they sweep Boston last year?
No, they ended up going 7. If you remember, they were up 3-0, and they let Boston come back, and they ended up beating them 7.
That's what it was. Yeah, because they were embarrassing Boston for a minute.
Yeah. They were. Exactly. That's exactly what was happening. And I think somebody got hurt.
Hell,
Bam.
I think Jimmy Butler got hurt. He wasn't 100% in the finals, if I'm not mistaken. But
you might be right about that.
Yeah, I thought Jimmy Butler got hurt, and he was able to. I don't even know how many
in Game 7
games in that game 6 and 7. That's how the Celtics kind of got back in, and I think he tweaked his ankle or something.
I think you're right.
Everything Terrence said, that ain't a debate to me. I'm sorry. Even though you see what winning a championship ring will do for you, though.
It drives people crazy.
It'll drive you a little crazy.
Because he won finals. I said, okay, well, if Finals MVP does it, then Andre Iguodala is better than Carmelo Anthony and Paul George.
Let's team on his back.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest.
But Jaylen definitely stepped up, though. He deserves MVP, but no.
Let's be real. He won Finals MVP because we hold
whoever Batman and Rob. I'm sorry, T. It's just easy to do that. It's easy to do that. I got another part. If I fuck up, he got me, and then he gonna kind of pick it up, and then I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna get a steal, a dunk, a layup, and I'm gonna finally hit a 3 after I just missed the last 5. That's Jaylen Brown. A little inconsistent, but they're good together. I think they're both won something, but neither are 1As. They're both probably 1Bs, but they're great 1Bs together. And the coaching is just, they play good fundamental basketball. That's it.
I think I agree. I think I would say both of them are 1B guys. Neither one of them is going to be Kobe, LeBron, KD, Steph, even Giannis. I would put in a class above them.
He won a championship too without another great player.
But if you put two high end 1Bs together and have a great team around them, you can get it done.
And again, another shout out to Drew Holiday again, guys, because he helped Giannis win that championship, and he just helped these two guys we're talking about now, the two 1Bs, finally get over that hump. I wouldn't say finally, but they've been wanting this.
It feels like finally because they've been quote unquote so close for so long.
Yeah, but they are still young, very young, but
right.
still.
Yeah. And I just want to say, Brown won that Finals MVP because we hold Jason Tatum to a different standard, and he didn't meet that standard. It's the same with Steph and Iguodala. We hold Steph to a standard
because they want Jason Tatum to truly be that 1A. And
they want
Jason
Tatum to average 30 and 6 rebounds and 6 assists, and he can't. He is very, very capable of doing that, which is why we hold him to that standard. But since he didn't meet that standard, let's just give it to the next guy.
Yeah,
who played pretty good.
Yeah, Terrence, what else we got, man? That was good stuff, though. And give us that podcast again, Nick.
94 Feet of Life.
94 Feet of Life.
Yeah, they're basketball camp for sure.
All right, shout out to them, and maybe we'll get the same thing back on their end. But yeah, good stuff. But I'm sorry, I as much as I love to argue or debate, there was nothing there. Everything Terrence said, he nailed it. And yeah, you guys are right. I agree. So what else we got, Terrence? I think we're.
I think the only thing on my agenda is to give a nice shout out to the great Willie Mays. Put a little move on you right there, the great Willie Mays.
Yes, sir.
I don't know where he ranks on your guys' list. It's hard for me to rank him because he's so doggone good, and Barry Bonds is so doggone good, and y'all know how I feel about King Griffey. Willie Mays is definitely better than Griffey, but man, Willie Mays was a bad dude. Was
Willie Mays on your 25 greatest athletes list when we did that?
I don't remember. He may have been, but I can't remember exactly.
I want to say he was. I want to say you might have had him like in the mid-teens somewhere.
He may have been. I don't remember exactly. I need to go and find that list. Wait a minute. It's in my phone. If he's not, he should have been. But I always find the conversation interesting about Willie Mays because even before Barry Bonds broke the record, it was always all I ever heard was Babe Ruth, Babe Ruth, Babe Ruth. But it's like the greatest player of all time kind of almost has to either be Willie Mays or Barry Bonds. Now, if you're not going to say Barry Bonds, to me, it has to be Willie Mays. But I get it. I understand baseball is what it is, and yeah, I know how that goes. But And just shout out to definitely one of the absolute greatest players of all time. Now, let's see if I can't find that list. 25 greatest athletes. But like I said, if he wasn't, he should have been.
Right. I say everything that you said, T. Great player, man, and I mean, like he paved the way for a lot of, African American players to play in the league, major, and outstanding, great. Willie Mays, man. I remember, was it the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, I believe? Ashley washed his. Well, she cleaned she was like, all this ink was on the baseball or something. And Fresh Prince.
It was a signature, yeah. I remember that, yeah.
Willie Mays' signature on that baseball. He was like, I know you didn't, just mess up my Willie Mays signature baseball. Oh, all that graffiti that was on it, yeah, I cleaned that up. And he went up them stairs like, that's your ass, Ashley. So yeah, even the Fresh Prince was telling us how great Willie Mays was. And I'm sure he didn't watch a single game of it. He couldn't have. Because he was young at that time, and Willie Mays still had been out of the league for quite some time, I believe. Great player. Rip. And again, our condolences to all his family and friends. But 93 years old, sure, he lived a hell of a life. And that is a long life to live, especially if you are a black person, a black man.
We always joke about who was the best wearing the number 24. We can end that debate.
King Griffey wore 24.
Willie Mays wore 24?
Yeah. What you say, Dick?
That Willie Mays wore 24?
Yeah.
It's still Kobe. I said what I said.
But didn't Ken Griffey do the same?
It was already Kobe.
I think the difference with Griffey was just that he just had the flair. He had the entertainment value. And I mean, that means a lot. Especially during that time.
Yeah. Okay. You're right. Nick, any words on Willie Mays or anything else before we wrap this up?
No, I'm not the biggest baseball guy and everything, but certainly I saw that. I think if I saw correctly, Willie Mays was a 24-time All-Star. So I don't know what the record is. That might be it. Say what?
That's like Bill Russell, ain't it?
That's nuts. Rest in peace to him. Obviously a trailblazer and a great player in baseball history. Certainly, big in African American history on this Juneteenth that we're recording on. And so certainly there's a lot of guys that owe their ability to play the game of baseball and play sports, on a national level in general. Owe it to some things that he did there for sure. So rest in peace to him. 93 years old is a hell of a blessing, a hell of a life to live.
That's right.
Yeah,
Amen.
That catch that he's very famous for, the over the shoulder while he's running the opposite direction, that catch was in an All-Star game.
Oh, that's crazy.
I
saw a crazy meme that I hadn't thought about until I saw it. Celtics really came out here and won titles in 08 and 24. So yeah, fuck that.
What do you say to that? What do you think about that, Nick?
That's a really poor coincidence.
They did it for Kobe.
Really poor coincidence.
Hey, they did it to Kobe in 08, and they did it for Kobe in 24.
Yeah, that's just. This is why LeBron can't be the GOAT. Can't let the Celtics win a title in 24. Can't let that happen.
When was his birthday?
Say what?
When was his birthday? Kobe?
I think his birthday is in August.
Yeah, 8 what?
I think it's 23rd, actually.
23rd, I think.
I think it's the 23rd, actually. Yeah.
That's all too damn. All right. Anyway, this has been another episode of the Great Debate Show. Jarvis Jeffries, Terrence Smith, Nick Ely. We're on the Great Debate Show. Follow the Great Debate Show page on Facebook. A lot of good things on there. The community's starting to grow. Y'all got to follow the Great Debate Show on Facebook and also on IG and X, formerly known as Twitter. All right, guys. We're right at that 45-minute mark, so I don't have anything. And I guess we're about to sign off now, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back for another episode. We got other things to talk about. We're going to create some more content here. It's been a slow off season, and I hate to say off season, but when it's the NFL off season, it does kind of get a little slow. even ESPN, the biggest sports broadcasting companies that there are struggling to come up with content. Especially
They're
it's going to
talking about the Lakers and the Cowboys every day.
Yeah. And they won't even do that. Well, somebody will, but it's going to get worse because this is where they'll take their vacations because it's like they talk about. This is when they pick the time to vacate because ain't nobody talking about no NHL, Stanley Cup Finals or any
baseball.
So that's it. We're gone. Hope you enjoyed. We'll be back for another one. Until then, man, we out. You'll catch us again next week if you pay your subscription bill.
Peace out, y'all.
Get the deal.